I love Windows 11. It's the best upgrade I've experienced thus far for Windows. Out. Yep, I know. I know. Windows 11. I love it. You guys hear me fine? Everything looks good. An error has occurred. Yeah, Windows 11. Like, there's some good things about it, but there's also, like, I have had nothing but, like, trouble since going to 11. But the issue is, on that, like, going back to 10, like, eventually I'm gonna have to go back to 11 here, right? So I was hoping just to be able to brute force through it, but like all I did is change my audio settings and it crashed. I had one the other day where all I did was I went in, I was doing a recording, I don't remember what for, but all I did was go in and hit the little thing here to mute desktop audio, and it blue screened my computer. Doing that right there the other day caused me to blue screen. Give me just a second while I check window here. And now because I crashed, I've got YouTube trying to tell me to re like uh, hold on a second. My phone. No, there's not malware on my device. Give me a minute here. This fully like signed me out of my Google account saying that there's malware because I like blue screened in the middle of the live stream. Google Authenticator, I'm right here. Just give me a minute. Create a new password. This thing is just hating me today. Yeah, so going to Windows 11 was easily the worst mistake I've made in the past couple of months. I don't know why this is being such a pain. I just wanna access my YouTube page here. I'll see chat here in a minute once it lets me sign in. Leoman, thank you for the sub. At least OBS is still like telling me Uh, they're showing me some of the chat and all that, but looks like studio. Yes, so pro tip to any of you. When you see that Windows 11 upgrade, just pass. Back to where we were 20 minutes ago. I very much foresee I'm going to go back to Windows 10 in the very near future. Like, Windows 11, like I said, has been nothing but trouble. What I also hate is I can't even move the taskbar around. Like, I had to get an add-on just so I could move the taskbar to a different part of my screen. If reject 11, embrace Windows XP. Yeah. Good morning, Alan. I don't know why Windows 11 is so trash, but it's like I was trying to give it a chance, but like this is getting a bit ridiculous. Like just changing an audio source causes it to like fully crash. Like, come on. There's still no game sound. Um, Timeline collapse, chronometric inversion field. Like, there's a couple temporal things that can trigger stuff like SIA or various secondary deflectors. Yeah, I think we're just gonna have to go with no game sound. Like it's I'll check the game here, but everything is set up fine. It's going to the right output, but OBS is not picking it up. Return to Windows 98. So the way I have my setup, Steven, is I have an ultra wide, a 34-inch ultra wide to my left, and then I have my like a 20-inch 4K monitor to the right, and I like to have the taskbar vertical in between the two of them. Okay. I'm going to do an infected elite. I know someone was wanting to be parsed before, and okay. I've got room for 3 more. Ideally a tank. If anyone can bring a tank, that would be amazing. Yeah, just drop your at handles in here and I'll get invites out. If this if Windows 11 keeps acting like this, I'm not looking forward to the full reinstall that I'm going to end up needing to do. So I think I might actually still be in the period where I can go back and just revert it back to 10. Average British. Waldo? Okay, Alan wants in. Average British, I think you were the one that mentioned earlier that you want to parse, right? So if you want to drop your at handle in, I'll send you an invite. Warp Core's going to try tanking, so Webbs, Alan, and Average British Nerd. If you guys want to get in here, then... Oh, it was you, Axel? I don't know who you are, Webbs. Warp Core, what's your at handle again? It's going to be Warp Core, isn't it? Gonna type in Warp Core, and it's going to be right there. Axel did? Axel, what TFO are you and how far in are you? Because Axel had mentioned quite a while back. Turtle, if you're still here, that's one of the few things that I have very limited supply on. I have not been ripping open lockboxes like I was in 2021. So my supply on things like research assignments is very, very limited. I'm pretty much tapped out on those. I have. So when I was on Windows 10, I did not have a blue screen for well over a year. And now that I'm on Windows 11, I've had 3 or 4 in the past week. And it's not even a blue screen. It's just that everything freezes. Everything just completely locks up, freezes. I can't access anything. The only solution is I go and hit the power button on my computer and I hold it until the computer goes off and turn it back on. I didn't upgrade because I didn't even want to really upgrade to Windows 11, and I know the fresh install would probably help quite a bit. Old boy. Windows 11 more security by your PC not working. And the fun thing is too, I actually have one of those TPM thingies on the on this motherboard. When I got this Gigabyte motherboard a while back, I explicitly went out and I don't know why, but I went and looked on ProVantage, I think, and found the TPM for it for like $6. This was a long, long time ago. Yeah, I bet it would, Chell. I thought about for a while messing around with like some Linux stuff again, but I my issue with that is I just there's too much Windows specific stuff that I'm still doing. I've got some really weak hardware, Steven. Really weak hardware. So I'm on a 5900X with a 3090 and 64 gigs of RAM. So hardware wise, it should be perfectly fine. But Windows 11, yeah, I got a good deal on that when the 3090 was like still really difficult to obtain. I got one at MSRP. I was being sarcastic, Zach. Yeah, it's casual computer. Okay, is everyone here good to go? I've got the Byr'jai set up, Michael. I set it up in the first part of this before Windows 11 uh, presented itself. And I've got the Byr'jai set up with like a do size setup and gonna. Here we go. Infected Space Elite. Old boy, how long is your cooldown? You have a cooldown on Infected the Conduit. Yeah, we have a full team. Okay, so you just got out of an infected. Okay, okay. We'll pick you up on the next one. Because yeah, you just got out of that queue. That's fine. We have room for one more. Oh, webs. Of course, webs. Webs, you're not even I don't see you. Are you hidden? Are you trying to hide now? Windows 11 does that again, and I'm gonna have to pour something else into this coffee. Okay. Webs, as soon as you... What if you decline it? I'd be sad. Yeah, Chemosite's pretty good. I mean, there's a reason people spend so much for it. Okay, here we go.
Situation is grim. All of them.
Yeah, the two-piece, Michael, if you end up going that route, the two-piece is actually pretty good. The two-piece is like 1.2% crit chance and like 12% or 13% severity, something like that. Oh, I'm so slow right now. Ah, nothing got dragged to the gate. Rip. Chell, I know what my spam bar is. I can already hear you talking about it. Webs, you're a troll. I know what you did, Webs. I know. Webs, you went over and hit the right side transformer, didn't you? Terrible, Webs. Basically, because so if the right transformer or the left one is unshielded at the start and someone goes over and hits it, the TFO will not complete if it's hit and any part of it's taken out before the starting group. Webs, someone in there went over to the right side and did that. The gate positioning hurts. Yeah, I'm used to like the Torp stuff where everything gets grouped up on the gate. So parse wise, no, the tanking was fine. Nobody died, so the tanking was fine. Webs, so warp core 131, Webs 350. Alan, I had you at 397, or basically 398. Bridger 527, and then myself at 699. Let's see the damage sources. Riker. You're blaming Bridger? Oh no. Will it upload? It should upload. I mean, the map was killed. It just, the game didn't think it was killed. Oh, it's a DPS record for this character. I haven't really done much on this character since the wipe, outside of Thaler on runs. Yeah, we'll do another. There's no cooldown after that one, so I'm going to cycle out, grab 5 or 4 different people. Can we get a tank again? I guess Warp Core, would you mind tanking again? Sorry if any of that's coming through. Probably not anytime soon, MB, because like I think everyone, I think, to be honest with you, the entire like ISC serious DPS scene has pretty much died out. I think both groups that were going at it have pretty much given up because it's just frustrating. Like, B team hasn't done a run in well over 4, 5, 6 weeks. I don't think Weavos have done a run in a while either because the servers just suck. Like, you can't do like any serious deeps runs during any of the big events because the servers that STO uses are just, well, they're getting like their servers here from like Wish. They went out, they were looking for some nice servers. They saw, oh, Amazon's got some nice ones, and then they saw, but Wish has some that are a tenth of the price, and they went for that. Okay, we have room for 2 more. Axel, you're still going to be on cooldown. Bourbon helps with the cough. The only thing I have here is just a little bit of Johnny Walker Black Label. Axel, you have 2 minutes on cooldown? Okay. Axel had been wanting to get a parse, so I'll get, we can do multiple TFOs. So I'll grab Axel and MB on this next one, and then we can run another queue afterwards. And Warp Core, thank you for tanking again. James, how's it going? Yeah, and I think now this is going to be a controversial and very much against the terms of service opinion, but one of the things you realize when you start to do the really high-end DPS runs is that one of the best things that could happen for runs like that is private servers. Because Cryptic, in the entire time that I have played this game, has seemingly never invested enough in their server infrastructure to make it so that you are going to have a smooth experience. I don't expect that I will ever, in the remaining time that I play this game, have a time where I can go in and know I can hit this thing and it's going to activate. I don't expect that to ever happen in this game because the servers they use are just not good. And the only way that's ever going to change is private servers, which technically has happened for some of their games in the past. Yeah, that was a fun run. But yeah, it's also the balance point of view. Like the devs did the stream freeze? Oh, looks fine. Um the devs not understanding the game or also does not help at all. I've had a chance to play with some of the devs in the past, and it's a bit rough of an experience going from deep runs with people that understand the game mechanics quite well within the player base to playing with the devs who don't seem to understand it. Naval action, I know, I know. I mean, I've been playing a lot of warships recently. I know that's not a ton better, but been enjoying that quite a bit. You're off cooldown? Is everyone here good to go? Yeah, I mean the thing is though, if it got to a point where still actually had private servers, then the game would be like over. There'd be like no new content for it. And I don't want to see that. It's just I I wish that there was a way for them to make it so that the instances were hosted on our side because clearly they are not willing to put the money into like get servers that can handle it, or their networking is or something is just not capable of giving us a smooth experience. But a bit rough. Yeah, that's always been the issue too. The only dev that I think that I know of that actually like understands the min max type of stuff, like understands like the system stuff very well was Jet. And you know, she's obviously not that cryptic anymore. Okay. Everyone else good to go? Got 4 Rs. Warp core, are you good? Yeah. Yeah, they've said that like most of the player base doesn't, and that's probably because 50% of that 90% is is the bots. Okay, here we go. I legitimately believe that a very sizable portion of any of the players online at any given time in this game are bots. I mean, you can go on eBay, player auctions, sites like that, and you can see, that there's clearly a massive market for the gold sellers. And you can see on like player auctions how much they've made in the past 30 days. And I was looking at this like a week or two back, and one of them has made like 8 grand. 8 grand in the past month. We're gonna take out the start, then we're gonna go left, then right. I need to move this mycelial thing off like really far down because that I hit that way too early. MB, you should be over a mill this run. Is this how we're gonna go? I'm not hitting the gate there. This thing really locks you out for so long. Yeah, that is crazy how long that locks you out. But at least that one completed. MB, bringing all that firepower with that VOD jug. What is that gate position? I was initially going to go and hit the spheres that get graveled up to the gate, but then they all died pretty much right away. So yeah, I tried to move over to the spot, but just did not get in the position. Yeah. No, I don't expect them to deal with the bots. I think part of the issue is too is that if they actually dealt with the bots, it would hurt their metrics. Yeah, good game. Good run there. Let's see what that looks like. MB, I had you at 723. I was at 678. Steven, I had you at 429. Axel, I had you at 145, and Warp Core at 113. Let's see the damage sources on this, though. The Ravager Shriek did quite well, 45k. I mean, it's not the highest for an experimental weapon, but it's still pretty good. I mean, it's not the highest of numbers, but like that was an okay run. 678 is reasonable. It's not like super crazy, but I'll take it. No, you're not blocked in chat, Broken Soul. And Dari the Dragon. Thank you, man. Much appreciated. Hope you have a good day as well. I mean, a lot of people go to the gold sellers, and to be fair, like I didn't talk about this in the video, but Cryptic aids the gold sellers quite a bit. The fact that you can't go and get everything directly on the player exchange, leaves people with limited options. Like, let's say I want a promo ship. Let's say I want to get the Enterprise J that you see in front of me. I go to the exchange, I see that there's none there. My choices are I can buy keys to sell to get promo packs. I can go to something like eBay or player auctions and just buy the damn thing for like 80 to $100, or I can go through the fun process of trying to find someone that is going to sell me the ship. Now, for your casual, like your really average casual player, they're not going to be participating in a trade channel. They're probably not even going to know that exists. they're going to look at the exchange. They're going to see that there's none of that ship on the exchange. They are going to see that there's no way for them to currently get that ship legitimately through the game without the gambling. And they're going to go and look up the ship on like eBay or player auctions, and they're going to see, oh, I can buy it right now for $80. They're going to do that rather than give Cryptic money. It's like Cryptic doesn't help themselves with when it comes to gold sellers. Hail Satan Brothers, where's the baby's room? The niece has been sleeping in the room next door. She's over here. Yeah, Chell, I'm just here to disappoint you with the gate positioning, to be honest. I am really far behind on chat. Let me get caught up here. Has there been any recognition of that Reddit post at all? No. Nothing. Well, outside of crying on the Reddit Discord saying that he sent an email about it. Yeah, I know, Chell. This character still has the old spacebar keybind for me. There's a trade channel. I thought all yeah, that's true, Merkstar. How much to sell my soul? Oh no. I need a bunker. I'd sell my soul for a bunker. I think that's the answer, right? Thanks for stopping by, MB. Okay, we have quite a few people here, so we're going to try to do content that engage, gets a ton of people engaged. So the next thing I'm going to do is a public queue. Leave the TFO group if you are in it, but I'm going to do a public queue for Crystalline Catastrophe Advanced. So just join the public queue for Crystalline Catastrophe Advanced. Make sure you're not in a TFO group when you queue or it will bug out. Yeah, we'll do a binary circuit too. No Starbase Elite. I got ripped out of the queue for Crystalline, apparently. I have re-queued. Those dynamic cans. Terrible. I like these. Oh, there's the pop. These are the DT 1770 Pros. I like them quite a bit. I also... Where do I have them? I've got the 1990 Pros over on the desk somewhere, but both of them are really nice. The 1770s are closed back. The 1990s are open back. I've got lots of fans going on in this room, though, so I just have been using the 1770s. Yeah, and unfortunately, I got screwed out of that first one. It took me out again? Or no, I'm still there. It's loading now. Okay. The HUD is all personal preference. Um, what'll happen, like with any game, someone will see how someone has their HUD set up, and they'll take inspiration from that and tune it a little bit for themselves, and then others will follow. It's all personal preference, though. Is there sound? I know what it is. Is that better? Yay, that fixed it. I know it was causing the game sounds to disappear. I had put filters on a while back for a video that I did where I needed to um filter out background noise. It was the short that I did for O Game because the raw audio from that was terrible, and I used the OBS audio filter. I basically just recorded the video, and then I used the audio from that to mix with the original video, and I used the noise removal in OBS to clear that out. And apparently, well, it was just like turned back off, but apparently something in the settings turned it back on, probably with the Windows 11 update. I've done quite a bit with OBS. Like there's quite a few scenes. I don't remember like every last thing that I've done. It's been a little bit now. Stargate, how's it going? Martin, how's it going, man? I can't do IEM like type earbuds. I can't do the in-ear ones. Does not work well for me. Yeah, Bridger, exactly. I blame Windows 11 for everything. I did not do an Elite Argala. Let me do an Elite Argala real quick, because I know that's a metric a lot of people go with here. The Byr'jai is a fun ship, but it dies when the enemy looks at it. Yeah.
You have entered. Looks like our fight got them to notice us. Let's go over and ask if they're thawed. Keep concentrating fire on individual ships. Separate them. Whittle down their numbers. We will not go quietly. You will stand down and surrender to the message guard. Sensors are picking up small habitations from the atmosphere, possibly connected with Volvo's temporary hideout. We do what we want, where we want. Picked up a tight beam transmission on a new frequency. broadcast spectrum of their comms now, but it was probably a call for assistance. I'm taking you with me. Captain Scott, excellent work. We'll send over a pacification party to take the suspect into custody.
Yeah, there's our gala done. They didn't do anything about the bots yet? Nope, nothing yet.
Thank you for your assistance, and welcome to this sector. We recommend that you get underway and
All
head
safe,
for
how you
secure
doing?
space. There's been a lot.
Yeah, if it gets brought up during 10 forward, then maybe it'll get some sort of response, but I'm guessing they're probably just gonna ignore our comments about it. Delta and Gamma Quadrant feel so underdeveloped. The Alpha and Beta Quadrants were the only ones in the game for how many years? Delta was added in 2014 and Gamma 2018, so Delta's had a bit more development, especially given, it's got a bit more to it given its size, but yeah, definitely Gamma really does feel like there's basically like no point to ever go to the Gamma Quadrant. Dark, how's it going, man? Any chance we're gonna get a free T6 coupon for this anniversary event? I expect it, to be honest. I think that T6 coupon got a lot of people into the game, and I think they would be smart to do the same thing this year. Delta best expansion ever? Yeah. Pretty much, Mercstar. 10 forward exists to show just to counteract the people that say the game is dying. The 10 forwards there to be like, no, we're still here. We're alive and kicking. Wish there was an Alliance Social Zone in the Gamma. Yeah, that'd be great. Broken Soul, let me check here, but I don't think you should have any issues typing. Let me check. I at least for me, I didn't hit anything on you, so let me check here. All the fun comments there. Settings, what's that? Andy. Hidden users. No, you're not on the hidden users. Oh no. I don't know why that's messing up for you. Binary circuit time? Yeah, we can do that. Binary circuit, yeah. How's the little ship doing? Yeah, it's a really, really good, capable ship. I mean, I've done about 700K with it so far in an ISC. I mean, in a more coordinated environment, I think I could get that to be quite a bit higher. Terrible Chell. I just don't like the guy and didn't want to deal with him anymore, so that's why he's there, Chell. Yeah. So what you're saying is you need to open a ship box, but you have all of your ship slots full and your dry dock full as well. I'd say just find a random C-store ship that you can discard in that case. Yeah, this is Byr'jai. So We'll do the binary elite here in a minute, but let me just recap the build. So for the weapons here, I went with the phaser setup based on what y'all requested in chat. So I had the Terran Rep DHC. You know, people use that because it scales up and does more damage as the target loses hit points. I had the wide arc phase cannons on. These are from the Lobby store. These are probably the best wide arc phaser cannons that you can get. And these have a proc on them in that if you hit an enemy while their shield facing is down, it's giving you a small damage boost for energy weapons and projectiles. Then I've got the quad phaser cannons, which could literally be any phaser dual heavy cannon, and the prolonged phaser dual cannons. For the Torp, I went with the Dark Matter for the 2-piece, which gives up to 25% crit severity. For the Deflector, Warp Core, and Shield, I went with the Revu 3-piece there. Though I don't think I'm a big fan of the 3-piece ability, and I think I'm going to drop the Deflect. I don't know. The Deflector gives some really nice stat boost. I'll probably leave that on, but the actual clicky of the 3-piece is quite rough. I think the issue is that with this shirt, former con member, I just grabbed whatever was like at the top of the laundry basket, and I think I wore this on the last stream, and I think it's just because it happened to be near the top of the laundry basket. So, for the engines, I went with the competitive innervated engines because the speed boost that you get from that is quite good. For the aft turrets, I went with the advanced inhibiting from the Gamma Rep. That is a really nice debuff proc on it that will debuff anything that moves slower than you. And then I went with the Trilithium turret, but I'm not running the 2-piece for the Trilithium, so you could replace this with literally any phaser turret. The experimental weapon is the Ravager Shriek. Devices, I got the Energy Amplifier, which you can craft, gives you a nice damage boost for 20-ish seconds. Deuterium Surplus, which you can craft after you unlock it from mission. And then the Temporal Negotiator, which is a reward from the Delta recruitment event. No, the M6 is a really good budget console. Like, if you are looking for like a budget domino on any class, the M6 is really good. I've got Immolating Phaser Lance on because phaser build, and that's going to be triggering universal designs. Bio-neural infusion circuits for the crit severity boost. The science consoles are the Tachyon Netron from the Bozeman that has really good passives and a really nice clicky for a dude size setup like this. The DPRM for the survivability. Genesis Seed for the radiation damage boost, which is helping Chemosite. And it's also a really good exotic clicky. Cascading Subatomic Disruptions for the exotic damage that it can do. And then the last science console is Domino for the phaser damage boost and the haste clicky that it has. Sark, I read part of what you just typed in that Discord message, and the difference there is between dev teams is quite crazy. For the TAC consoles here, I've got the Fekiri Torment engine, gives you quite a few boost for fire, radiation, physical damage. It's a really good console, or especially for like a Dusai setup like this. If you have the Arbiter, I would recommend, Bowman, that if you're going to use an upgrade, get the Fleet one first. You can get the Fleet one at a discount, and if you are needing fleet ship modules, you can either buy them via the exchange, or once you get tier 6 in the reputation, you can purchase one per rep. So get the fleet version and then upgrade the fleet version. Sam, do you have cross-faction flying unlocked? Because that might be blocking it from showing up for you. I then have 3 of the phaser locators. I was going to do exploiters. My crit chance here is right around 50% with or without locators, so I would probably have went exploiters if I had them on this character. And then I have, of course, the Lorca console on for the 2-piece with the torp. Galeth. Almost no amount of money would be a measure of your time for polishing. I've done a bit of stow. Good morning to you too, Galeth. Bridge officer wise, the commander tack is Chemo 1, Beta 1, Torp Spread 3, and CSV 3. I went with the cannon scatter volley setup for this because with a deuce size setup, you're using a lot of control with like the grav well and the timeline collapse that I have on. And with the enemies being grouped up, the cannons, with especially with the AoE with cannon scatter volley, will just chew through the enemies. And then the Torp Spread 3, also I'm getting those Dark Matter Quantum Torps out on the stuff that's all grouped up. So on the Lieutenant Commander Universal with Temporal Operative, got Emergency Power to Weapons 1, Chronometric Conversion Field, and Timeline Collapse. The Ensign Engineers an Emergency Power to Engines. Lieutenant TAC with Intel is OSS 1 and Ionic Turbulence 1. Then the Science has Very Cold in Space 1, Subspace Vortex 2, and Gravwell 1. So one of the things I'm trying to do with this build is trigger Spore-infused anomalies, and that trait has quite a few different triggers. So Chronometric Conversion Field, which I have right here. Gravity Well, right there. Ionic Turbulence, right there. Subspace Vortex, that's right below the Gravwell. Timeline Collapse, right up there. And Very Cold in Space, also on the Science Bridge Officer that I have. So with this build, I'm trying to trigger as many of these SIA abilities as possible, and I have all but one of the procs on this build. For the traits here, do I not have UD on this? Did I go this entire time and miss the fact that I don't have universal designs on here? Okay. Trait-wise, for personal space traits, a good day to die. Context is for kings. So a good day to die, I should go back. That's a tack only thing. If you're on a non-tack, just use like a random damage boosting trait of your choice. Context is for kings, gives you resistance or cat 2 damage depending on if you're taking shots or not. Particle Manipulator unlocked from level 15 of Science R&D. Very good for any builds that incorporate lots of sciencey abilities. Fragment of AI Tech. This gives you control expertise and will also give your energy weapons a boost based on how much control expertise you have on your build. Intelligence Agent Attaché, because this will reduce the cooldown of your captain abilities. Self-modulating fire for the shield pen. Fleet Coordinator to get the damage boost when you're with a team. Terran Targeting System for the 15% crit severity. Uncon for the little bit of cooldown reduction that I can get for some of my consoles. And Boimler for cooldown reduction. For the Starship traits, I've got Calm Before the Storm, Emergency Weapon Cycle. So Calm Before the Storm, this is off of, was it the Cardassian Intel Flight Deck Carrier? I think that's the right one. This thing gives you firing cycle haste and some cooldown reduction. So it's on for 20 seconds, off for 20 seconds. It's a pretty good trait to have on. One of the top energy weapon boosting traits you can use. Emergency weapon cycle is off the Arbiter, Morgu, or Karak, and it's basically a must-have on any energy weapon build. Lowers your weapon power cost and makes your weapons fire faster. Withering Barrage to extend the uptime of Cannon Scatter Volley, because I'm using a CSV setup here. Best to have that on to get as much uptime as possible. Oh, no. The Ruin of Our Enemies. This is an expensive trait that you can substitute with any other damage boosting trait you have. This, every time I get a kill, it's going to give me a 3% damage boost. And every 5 kills, it'll give me some cooldown reduction. Terrible. I don't know what's happening in chat, but I'm concerned. Spore-infused anomalies, like I showed, I have a ton of procs on here to make this go off. And then universal designs, which will have high uptime with all of the universal consoles that I have on. For the space rep traits here, advanced targeting systems for the crit severity, precision for the 5% crit chance, Tyler's duality for the scaling amount of crit chance that gives me with the whole capacity, controlled countermeasures for the damage boost I get from hitting targets that are controlled, which I have Gravwell on and Timeline Collapse, both of which are controlling the enemies, so I'm getting a damage boost against any of the enemies that are affected by any of my control abilities. And Magnified Firepower for the Cat 2 damage boost for my weapons. For the Doffs, I have an energy weapon, crit chance, and severity Doff. I have 26 of 47, which has a chance to give me a damage over time improvement when I hit attack abilities, which is helping some of that science stuff. And it's giving me a chance to improve crit chance when I hit temporal abilities. I think Spencer just had a stack overflow. Terrible. 27 for showing just how budget friendly this build is. 31 for the science. I'm just reading some messages over here. I'm getting some on Discord and stuff. I'm focusing webs. So 31 for the boost for the exotic stuff, and then emergency con hologram for the for the speed boost. Ritalin stat. Terrible. And for the power levels, everything's in weapon power. And the rest I have in Ox. Okay. Let me just give this one little bit of a tip here. If you are playing Star Trek Online and you are using beam or cannon weapons and you want to increase your damage, you need to make sure you are on the attack preset and your weapon power is maxed out. Shield power literally does not matter in this game. Engine power can be useful. Ox power can be handy for some sciencey stuff. But weapons power needs to be maxed out. You're welcome. That's the build. Are you happy, Webs? I'm getting messages throughout that. The Borgdoffs aren't worth the cost, Waldo. That's the answer there. The Borgdoffs do have an impact, and I think Chell, if Chell's still here, Chell was saying it's a couple percent, but a 27 isn't worth a billion EC, to be honest with you. 27, and most of the Borgdoffs are severely overpriced. Let's do a binary circuit. Binary Circuit Elite public queue. If you want in, just join the public queue for Binary Circuit Elite. And yeah. Or DOS would be great, but Spencer has them all and he ain't sharing. Terrible. I used to fight Flying Dutchman when I used to do PvP, but I don't think PvP is worth it anymore. I also like I know that there's some good people in the PvP community, but I also know that there's some people in the PvP community that need some serious help. Like, to be honest, I've met some people in the PvP scene in Stowe that belong in a padded cell. I had one guy a couple years back uh, say that he wanted to like find me IRL, like that he was gonna come over to Iowa and find me because he was so upset. I don't remember. Like it's been a long time. Dr. Haggerty, I think that's still bugged. I don't know if they fixed that yet. Cheops, and then there's Timberwolf. Yeah, I used to deal with him quite a bit. I was on the show podcast with him way back, and I've talked about that before. But there's a few reasons myself and quite a few others stopped associating with him. Oh, I'm way past my prime, and I'm a boomer in STO PvP terms. I'm washed. Are the SROs still broken? I honestly don't know. If you guys want to join Binary Circuit Public Queue, we're going to do Elite. This is a 5v5 map. It's on the ground. It's basically a maze. It's not real PvP. I remember. STO PvP. I mean, I had a lot of fun with it for a very long time. I felt like I did a fairly good job with it when I was still doing PvP, but I just don't think it's worth it in the current state of the game. Yeah, 27's expensive, way too expensive. Yeah, when you start to get into PvE or like serious min-max deep stuff, the cost of getting builds together starts to become very high. Um, this might be a video that I do like at some point. I know I've talked about this one before, but just breaking down the cost of like a min-max DPS tort boat, it's like $1,000. And it's like that for most min-max builds for most scenarios. If you like wanted to max it out and you wanted to see the actual cost, it's like $1,000. Kim, how's it going? I don't even know how to respond to that comment, former con member. I don't know. If I'm spending that type of money on a game, I want it to be like ideally if I'm spending a ton of money on a game, I want it to be something that I know I can do long term. The only games that I toss any money at anymore that are not single player that I can host directly on my end are Stowe, World of Warships, and O Game. And O Game doesn't really have much cost associated to it. Like you can get like the officers, which is basically like their premium time, subscription type stuff for like under $50 a year. Warships Warships I've dumped a little bit of money into. I'll be the first to admit that, but Stowe, for as much money as I put in Stowe, I've gotten it all back, so I'm not too worried. Thank you for the sub. If anyone wants to join, we have room in the Binary Circuit Elite public queue. Yeah, I've set up like I have all the stuff to do PvP. Like I've got the legendary bug ship, I've got Exodus, I've got all the survivability stuff. Like I used to do quite a bit of PvP, but I just don't think it's worth the time investment anymore for Stowe. I don't know if this binary circuit's gonna pop. Voyager, see you around. The other game that I like, there's two other games that I have that I wish I could play like completely offline. Hitman, but from what I understand, I was looking at this the other day. There's actually a server emulator that you can run for Hitman called Project Peacock, and you can use this to basically play the newer Hitman games on a local server. Basically, you still have to connect to Epic or Steam or whatever, but you can use that Peacock software to bypass the connection to the actual servers for that game. Yeah, there's binary circuits not going to go through. Yeah, Cheops indeed. I like to like I was saying before, I think in the first half of the stream, when I'm doing single player stuff, I like to use a trainer. I like to just mess around and not really think about it. Then I know that's not for everyone, but I like to have those single player games or games like that where I could just use a trainer and just enjoy the storyline. You know, I don't necessarily want to think about all the mechanics on everything. Um, One game where I wish it was single player rather than multiplayer is The Division. Like I feel like most of that stuff could be single player, but it's all online. So someday Ubisoft is going to shut the servers down for that game, and that is going to suck. Okay, binary circuit's not going to go through. I'm canceling the queue for that. Let's do another crystalline catastrophe. We have plenty of people here. Let's do crystalline catastrophe advanced again. Join the public queue for that, and let's get them Tholians out of here. There we go. You see, people don't like ground content. I queue for a ground queue, nobody goes for it. I queue for a space queue, immediate. Yeah, Operation Wolf is fun. I just wish there was a higher difficulty. No. Okay, so after this crystalline, I'm going to go through, get my endeavors done, and then I'm going to call it for today. I've got some stuff to take care of, and sounds like I'm going to have to watch the niece here for a little bit. Yeah. Very difficult content. Thank you everyone for joining. Okay. Time to get my endeavors done. Yeah, if you're in Starfleet Command Operations, they're about to do a colony sim. Okay, I need to destroy some Herald ships. Martin, thank you for stopping by, man. So I need to set this to normal. And Blood of the Ancients. Go in there, get them kills. Yeah, it was fun. It's always a red alert. Bridger, thanks for stopping by. So upcoming content for me. Tomorrow is probably going to be a video on the on like predictions for what we're getting in 2023 for STO. Numbers of what? I have no idea what you're even saying. Byr'jai build video? Oh yeah, maybe. I don't know if I'll just use the bit that I did here or if I'll just redo it. Then do it as like a separate video. For upcoming content, the next video probably out tomorrow is going to be the thing like 2023 predictions for STO. Nothing there will be from like leaks or anything like that. It's going to be, you know, the stuff that we all have had confirmed already, and then just like some predictions time-wise of when certain things are going to happen in the game. Then after that, I think I talked about this on last week's stream, but I did not, as you guys saw, I didn't really do videos this past week for the most part. Just had stuff going on IRL, and I did a lot in December, you know, a couple days just to chill. It was nice. Implore me to try a full plasma build. The plasma is no different from like phaser or disruptor. It's all the same at the end of the day. I mean, I can put a plasma build together, but it like the only difference between like a plasma build and a phaser build is, you know, the I'm not gonna have the Terran. It's not legendary. The bundle is not legendary. It's another Terran bundle like we got last year. So, okay, sticking to what I said. 2023 predictions, and then there will be another video for the best and worst ships of 2022. My prediction is that it will have the mirror warship in it, but I only know the 2 ships that that Cryptic leaked, intentionally on their 10 forward a while back. Yeah, I need EC. I still haven't decided where to put my Stargazer yet. Yeah, well, it's Legendary Akira or Byr'jai. They haven't. What's probably going to be the Akira, and I'm expecting it to be quite disappointing. Just set your expectations low for anything so that you can be happy about whatever it is that gets released. Thought I had enough there. Apparently not. Okay, there's that Endeavor, and what did I get for that perk point? Sprint speed on ground, control resist space, or max shields. I'm just going to go for the max shields because that's almost done. Okay. I am going to have to call it for today. Thank you to everyone that stopped by and came back after the disconnect there. Windows 11 is a lovely operating system and is extremely stable. So this stream was divided into 2 parts, and I'll have them labeled as part 1, part 2. But thank you all for stopping by. Like I said, predictions video is going to be coming out here in the next day or 2, and then after that's going to be the best and worst ships of 2022. Yeah. So thank you all for stopping by. I will see you all around.